September 30th, 2025, Dnipro, Ukraine's industrial and business hub, is about to face a rare daylight strike. The city's heart, offices, medical facilities, and residential blocks is humming with activity. Workers are at their desks, children are in classrooms, streets are full of traffic. Above it all, Russian Shahed drones streak low over the skyline. The Shaheds, slow, propeller-driven kamikaze drones carrying 40 kilograms of explosives, are designed to pierce defenses, ignite fires, and terrorize civilians. This is broad daylight. This is precision terror. One hit could ignite a car, collapse a wall, or bring down a building. And this time, the city center itself was the target. The Shahed 136 drones are small but deadly, buzzing kamikaze machines carrying 50 kilograms of explosive fury. Cheap, expendable, and terrifyingly precise, they're Russia's preferred way to turn a city center into a target range without risking pilots or tanks. These drones became midday messengers of chaos, launched with a cold calculation from southern Ukraine at broad daylight. The plan hit Dnipro's heart while office chairs creaked, children sharpened pencils, and street vendors argued over the best shawarma. By 12:15 p.m., radar operators spotted 5 slow-moving blips skimming the horizon. They weren't fast, but that was the trick. Low, sneaky, hugging the terrain like caffeinated squirrels avoiding cats. 12:30 p.m., air raid sirens shrieked through the city. Windows rattled, dogs went ballistic. Civilians braced for the invisible storm above. GPS-guided and pre-programmed, the Shaheds didn't need eyes to see, they only needed coordinates. Ukrainian defenders scrambled, eyeballs on scopes, fingers twitching over buttons, trying to guess which drone would hit first and where. The suspense was electric. Each propeller whined through the air like a mechanical mosquito intent on causing maximum havoc. Smoke trails weren't visible yet, but the tension painted them across the minds of everyone on the streets. These drones weren't dropping in randomly, they were surgical, calculated, and imbued with that special kind of terror that only comes from knowing they were aimed at where people lived, worked, and argued over lunch orders. Civilians were exposed, unprotected, and forced to watch as 5 steel birds of misfortune closed in while the city's few anti-air options flickered into light. Dnipro's defenders fired back with a patchwork arsenal that read like a mixed bag of anti-drone toys. Gepard cannons spun their 35mm barrels, stingers launched skyward, and experimental jammers buzzed electronic warnings across the city. The first 2 drones met a wall of steel and fire. They exploded in controlled bursts over empty streets, harmless except for the debris raining down. The remaining 3 were fast, low, and lethal, cutting through Dnipro's defenses like hot knives through Ukrainian borscht. The cost imbalance was brutal. Russia spent roughly $70,000 per drone, a bargain for the panic and destruction they sowed. Ukraine countered with missiles that cost millions a pop, not including the added wear on radar, gun barrels, and the sleep-deprived nerves of operators. The defenders fired. The drones kept coming. Every second counted. Calculations and adrenaline collided in a deadly dance. Which drones to shoot, which to let pass, which targets to prioritize. Each interception felt like buying lottery tickets with lives at stake. A miss could turn a classroom into a disaster zone. A hit meant millions of dollars evaporated in fireballs. Electronic jammers buzzed. Attempts at GPS interference made the drones wobble slightly, but pre-programmed coordinates proved stubborn. Civilians pressed to the ground. Defenders barked orders over radio channels cluttered with static and panic. The sky over Dnipro was a chessboard with missiles, bullets, and steel drones, all moving faster than human reflexes. And in the end, it was only partially contained. 3 drones slipped through, a reminder that even the most carefully laid defenses can't guarantee safety when the attacker is cheap, calculated, and entirely indifferent to human life. 12:45 p.m. The first Shahed 136 crashes into a 10-story apartment block, turning glass into glittering rain and cars into charred sculptures. Flames roar up the facade, smoke twisting toward the sky like angry snakes. One man on the street doesn't get a chance to react, taken instantly by shrapnel. The streets below are chaos incarnate. Windows shatter, alarms wail, and civilians dive for cover while smoke fills lungs and eyes alight. Seconds later, a second drone smashes into a pediatric dental clinic. The waiting room, once filled with nervous children and parents, erupts in terror. 2 young patients, a 10-year-old boy and a 17-year-old girl, are wounded, their cries cutting through the roar of emergency sirens. Medical equipment and chairs are thrown across rooms, walls scorched by fire. The third drone hits a nearby office building. 3 floors erupt in flames, smoke thickens over the Soborny district, painting the skyline with black plumes visible from across Dnipro. Firefighters, already racing from previous nightly alerts, pour hoses on the inferno, but the combination of steel, concrete, and drone explosives makes progress slow. 12:47 p.m. Thick black smoke rises, windows continue to explode from heat, and the city reels under the sudden, ruthless impact of airborne steel. Side streets are a jumble of overturned cars, broken glass, and scattered debris. Students dive under desks, office workers throw themselves behind furniture, families scramble through streets, phones light up with frantic calls, messages ping with updates, 3 drones downtown, take cover. Even trained responders feel the pressure. Every second counts. Every missed intercept a potential disaster. The strike lasts barely 5 minutes, but the chaos echoes for hours. Firefighters battle fires, hoses pumping water onto burning facades while embers drift into streets crowded with debris. Medics rush through smoke-choked roads, treating cuts, burns, and concussions. By October 1st, 31 people have been treated for injuries ranging from minor to severe. Apartment blocks, medical facilities, and office buildings bear scorched walls and shattered windows. Dozens of cars parked helplessly along streets are twisted metal husks. Students remain under desks long after the sirens stop. Families huddle together, shaken and trying to make sense of the midday nightmare. Citizens record videos on phones, posting to social media. The city documents the carnage as evidence, both for history and for potential future war crimes proceedings. President Zelensky responds from Kyiv, issuing a fresh call for stronger sanctions. He stresses the psychological terror of targeting civilians in broad daylight. The message is clear. Strikes like this aim to break morale, not military hardware. Dnipro absorbs the attack with courage, but the immediate impression is brutal. A city disrupted, lives wounded, and a reminder that even a few small drones can wreak havoc when timing and targets are chosen with cold precision. The emergency teams continue to clear rubble, transport the injured, and secure streets, while black smoke still curls above scorched buildings. The clash between cheap lethal drones and costly stretched defenses leaves a stark tally. 1 civilian dead, dozens injured, and a city forced to confront the human cost of modern drone warfare. Amid the chaos, resilience surfaces, but the danger remains palpable, a reminder that the skies over Dnipro are far from safe. Dnipro has become a magnet for steel from above. Since February 2022, the city has endured over 100 missile and drone strikes, each one a reminder that geography can be cruel. From Iskander ballistic missiles to Khed 101 cruise missiles and the ubiquitous Shahed 136/Jiran-2 drones, Russia's attacks mix precision, terror, and occasional improvisation. Each strike is a tactical equation: cheap drones, high damage, civilian panic, and the occasional unintended spectacular. Major strikes read like a horror checklist. January 2023, cluster munitions on a high-rise killed 46 and left hundreds homeless. March 2025, a 20-drone swarm ignited hotels and apartments, most intercepted but damage unavoidable. June 2025, ballistic missiles hit a passenger train and industrial sites, killing 21 and wounding hundreds, including children. September 30th, 2025, rare daytime Shahed drones tore through apartments, offices, and a pediatric clinic, leaving 1 dead and 28 wounded. With swarms of hundreds of drones testing Ukrainian defenses, and daytime strikes like September 30th, 2025, marking a deliberate shift. Dnipro's air defenses, Patriots S-300s, Guepards, fire tens of millions in missiles against drones, costing a fraction of that, while radar operators track low-flying threats like caffeinated squirrels on a GPS mission. Spotter networks on the ground ping alerts in real time, but gaps remain. Even the best-laid defenses cannot guarantee zero penetration. Civilian targets bear the brunt: apartments, schools, hospitals, cultural centers. Casualty tallies read like grim math. Dozens killed, hundreds injured, thousands displaced. Children are particularly vulnerable, turning playgrounds and classrooms into zones of trauma. Fires flare, glass shatters, sirens scream, and medics rush into smoke-filled streets. Each strike forces Ukraine to choose between expensive intercepts and preserving lives, a cruel calculus Russia exploits. The attacks are relentless, the human cost unmistakable, and the message clear: Dnipro is within reach at any hour. So, 5 drones, $350,000 in hardware turned Dnipro's midday into a high-stakes clash between steel and defenses. The strike was precise, calculated, and disruptive, testing city infrastructure, response systems, and the limits of air defense. What should this daylight strike be called? Share your thoughts in the comments, hit like, subscribe, and follow for updates on Russia-Ukraine's aerial conflicts.